Alright, you bastards, this is Some-Belgian-prepper. For those who came after just behind the New Year's, Happy New Year, all that kind of stuff, and best wishes and health and all that stuff. So, uh, today we're going to talk about something that might sound stupid, and it's actually almost never talked about, but in my opinion, it's a very important survival tool. And yeah, before we do that, yeah, if you're interested into detective stories, this is the first part of an 11-part series that I wrote called Bloody Crosses. It's in Dutch. If you're interested, it will be down in the description. So, what is this tool that I'm talking about? Earplugs, just regular, everyday earplugs. Uh, in my everyday carry, I always carry some earplugs with me, and there are several occasions where they have come into handy because earplugs are very important because yeah, hearing is one of the senses that are very important in every survival situation, but there are certain situations where that could get very loud. So if you can see, I always carry one of these workers earplugs that can fit into any ear and are not that bothersome. So yeah, what are these survival situations? Well, it could I put them in my everyday carry bag. So there are several situations like if you go to a concert, to a party, to a bachelor party, a wedding. You know the kind of people who always play their music loud, especially if one of your family members hired a punk band to their wedding. I can assure you it's very loud. And you do not want to damage your ears or get tinnitus. I know many people like their music very hard, but it's not really that healthy. And why does it need to be so loud? So yeah, if you are on a concert, like I said, at a concert, a wedding, and the music is a little bit too loud, and you cannot be bothered to go outside because of reasons, you have one of those entry wristbands, and you can get in, but you cannot get out without. Yeah, you know how the systems are into it. So yeah, put your earplugs in, and you can enjoy the band a little bit more in a silent way, and you will not damage your ears. Another thing that could happen, and these are probably more of the survival aspects of having earplugs, and these are, imagine there is a certain disaster. There is chance of an explosion, the sound of an explosion, like in a war situation. There is They detected a bomb that they found during construction from World War II or something, or there is an accident near a certain plant or a factory that has explosive stuff inside of them, and it's caught on fire by some accident, and yeah, there is a risk that it will explode. So you can preventive put this into your ears, so in case there is a bomb explosion, there is something burning in the factory and it will explode. Yeah, those things could suddenly get loud, and you do not know when these are going to explode. So if you put them in preventive, that way you do not only protect your ears from the initial blast, but also from the shockwave that could damage your ears. We all seen those movies, those guys who walk away from an explosion, slow motion, boom in the background, and they never seem to have trouble with their ears. From somebody who has some experience with firearms and explosives, I can assure you the shockwave of even a small explosion can be really detrimental to your hearing. So please do not get near explosions, even if you think, oh, I'm 50 meters away, I'm fine. No. And even a small explosion could still damage your hearing significantly in that way regard. So, like I said, firearms, if you go to a shooting range or you go to a friend and yeah, he says, well, why don't we go in the backyard and shoot some targets just for fun and shits and giggles? Well, yeah, if he does not have earplugs, at least you must have earplugs, in my opinion. So if you're going to shoot with any firearm, just put them in for safety. So yeah, with any firearm, even if it's only a point 22, even if the friend says, "Oh, don't be a pussy, real men don't wear earplugs." Nah, don't listen to those people. Always protect your hearing. Another thing that could be happening is during a disaster, like after an earthquake or during a bug out scenario of whatever reason, there is chaos. There are ambulances, there are fire trucks, police sirens, there are perhaps explosions from gas leaks during the evacuation, uh, or car crashes, or people screaming. Yeah, those things could get very loud. So a little bit of protection from your ears. So these earplugs have the benefit that they still allow some noise to be heard. So you hear somebody talking, but as there is suddenly a loud noise, you get protected by them. So that way you can get out of a dangerous situation without being stressed out by all the sudden loud noises. Not only for ear protection, because uh, noise could be very dangerous for your mind if it's constantly on the same level. So imagine if you're going through a city that is in ruins by a earthquake or some other big disaster, and there is people, like I said, screaming, sirens, explosions, or things that breaking or snapping. If you keep hearing that, your brain will get a certain fatigue, you will get a certain stress, and that's also the reason why people who are working a normal job in a factory or some or construction or any other uh, job that is constantly noised by machinery, tools, by loud vehicles. Those people do not only need to protect their ears from the noise, but also from the stress from the noise. I work in a factory, and yeah, I constantly have a machine that makes noise, and yeah, the reason I need my ear protection is because I have experimented with this a little bit. I put on some regular plugs like this. Those are helpful, but I'm more fatigued at the end of the day when I wear one of those big headphones instead of one of these just one of these plugs. So they make a real difference in how fatigued, mentally stressed you are at the end of the day after such a day. So yeah, those are things that also happening. Another thing is during a bug out scenario or camping or hiking, if you sleep in a tent or in a shelter and it's a little bit windy, we all know people who have experienced this during hiking or camping know that if it's very windy in a forest, the tent will start to the wind will blow against the tent. It will and it will start to flap. The trees are making noises, animals are making noises, and yeah, if you're trying to get sleep in a already difficult situation to say, yeah, that could get, like I said, could be mentally very stressed, or you get less sleep, and you will be impeached during the next day because you're very tired because you could not get any sleep. Yeah, for people who are going to the forest or hiking on a regular basis, they do not get bothered by this. Or people who, like me, live on the how they say in a rural area. Well, we hear the cocks rooster the roosters making noise. We hear tractors. We hear yeah, animals that are animals, the crickets. But people that are living inside of a city, they can have it difficult by hearing different noises than they are accustomed to in a way. But it's also for the other way around. If you're from a rural area, you go into the city where it's constantly honking, uh, trucks, cars, people yelling, uh, music, whatever. If you're not accustomed to that, it could be very difficult for both parties to sleep in their opposite environment. So plug, even if you go into the city and sleep with uh, uh, some some friends that are living there in their apartment, it could be very difficult. So an earplug could be a very handy. So yeah. Or another thing that could be happening is you missed your bus, your train, and you need to wait for hours. You're going to take a nap, but yeah, if you want to take a nap, it could be very yeah noisy, very hard to sleep, and yeah, that way it could also be helpful. So yeah, those are all things that you could use that are beneficial for your hearing, not only for protecting the hearing itself, but also for mentally stress from constantly noises. Earplugs are very handy for that. I would suggest to always put some earplugs in your EDC, in your car, or wherever you're going actually, or in your bug out bag even. Another thing is that something that some people may have um, come across is if you're going to a job, uh, there normally there are by the rules, they need to give you earplugs for to do your job. But some jobs are a little bit, we will not give them, or we don't have any more, and we need to order some. You know how the excuses that there are. So instead of going through the day, because you need to work that day to make your money, but they do not provide you the earplugs or the ear protection, at least you will have some earplugs always standby in such cases, so that you will not have to damage, because yeah, we all know how the real corporate world will work. And yeah, so if you have any other suggestions for the uses of earplugs during survival situations, let me know in the comments. I'm always eager to learn. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I would say thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Cheers.